It's Trevor Hook from the KBIA Newsroom, and it's time for Missouri on Mic, conversations from Missouri in its 200th year. Jake Edgar grew up in Marceline, Missouri, but he refers to it as a little nowhere town in Linn County. Jake now lives in Columbia. Jake spoke with KBIA about his favorite places in Missouri and how the positive aspects of the state can be outshined sometimes by the state's politics in this episode of Missouri on Mic.
Just all positive thoughts whenever I think about back home for the most part. I also am in love with Columbia. I think Columbia is a beautiful spot, and I think there's so much to offer. And coming from a small place, I think this is like the perfect stepping stone whenever you go from somewhere smaller to bigger, because it feels like a city if you're from a small town, even though it really still does. It has a really small town feel to it. Well, it has a mall, so that really is all the criteria it takes for me to consider a place a city. I feel so at home here. It's a place where people are just happy to talk to one another and just make light, happy conversation. And I'll walk into any grocery store in Missouri and walk out happier than whenever I went in, because I'm sure that I'm just gonna have a couple positive encounters with strangers. I think a lot of the negative things that come to mind about Missouri are pretty valid, but that's because people think a lot of our politicians and just the sides of this place that are louder and less kind, instead of the positives, like the fact that most people from here are really, truly nice, good people who are just unfortunately ignorant. I'd really like to see Missouri, the politics of this place start reflecting how beautiful the land is, and just getting on. I just want to see a bunch of the rest of, or I'd love to see all of the rest of the state be as progressive as Columbia tries to be. But there's a lot of willful ignorance that comes from growing up somewhere small and just trying not to understand things because it's easier to live simply than try and take in all the complexities. I hear people crap on Missouri a lot, and it just makes me upset because there's so much beauty that comes with this place, and it just as soon as you start looking at it through a different lens, there's so much more to appreciate. And I think that's kind of the chip on the shoulder that a lot of people from here have, is that people think that it's a shithole, but it really isn't. It's so beautiful. It almost doesn't matter where you are. Like, it's all just got rolling hills and beautiful sunsets and happy vibes, and I wish that the rest of the country could start acknowledging it for that, rather than its negative political policies.
That was Jake Edgar on the beauty of the Show Me State. Missouri on Mic is an oral history and journalism project for Missouri's 200th year. Thanks to Connor McGovern for producing this episode. Music was provided by the Burney Sisters. For more conversations like these, visit kbia.org. I'm Trevor Hook. Thanks for listening.